Hi everybody, it's Heidi with The Weathered Fence Post and welcome to our channel. We've had quite a few new people subscribe recently, so I just want to go over who we are and what we do. My husband Steve and I are resellers in the Raleigh, Garner, North Carolina area. We have two booths, one at Antiques at Gresham Lake in North Raleigh and one at Collected Treasures in Garner. Currently, we do not sell online because we actually hold down jobs too and run these booths, so we just wouldn't have time to manage that properly. We would be late on our shipments and it just wouldn't be a good thing for everybody. So we've decided to not sell online. How did we get started in this business? Well, this goes way back to 2014 is when we started. We actually, we started, maybe a little bit before this. We did sell on eBay for a little while. I was trying to raise some money. My son was going to be having open heart surgery, and I needed to raise some money to be able to travel to the Mayo Clinic and get that done. So that's how it all started. And then we found a booth that we went into in Siler City, North Carolina, and we just went from there. We eventually ended up at Antiques at Gresham Lake. We've been there for a very long time. And then we branched out to Collected Treasures in Garner, and we've been there for quite a while too. We actually went up to a third booth at one point, decided that was just a little too much for us, and scaled back to two booths. So that's what we do locally. What we do on this channel is we like to take you out hunting for treasures. That's one of my very favorite things to do, is to go out for the hunt and take you along on it. I try to do as good a filming as I can. Sometimes when you're in the middle of that hunt, it's just a frenzy and you get all excited and the filming may not be perfect, but I do try to take you along for the hunt. And then we go over the haul. Today's video is going to be a haul video from us going hunting last Saturday up to Oxford and Creedmoor, and boy do I have some great things that I'm going to show you. So this kind of thing is, this kind of content is the kind of stuff that you like, then come along for the fun. Hit the subscribe button, share our channel, give us a thumbs up, give us some comments. We don't mind. We love to talk back with you. And let's go, let's check out the haul. Let's see what we found last weekend out hunting. Okay, I'm going to start out with items that we're getting ready to take down to Collected Treasures. As soon as I'm done with this video, we're packing up and heading down there. Now, we mostly pick up vintage items, and on the other side of that, we will occasionally pick up an antique piece, or we also will pick up some contemporary pieces. But the bulk of what we look for is vintage. This piece happens to be contemporary. Steve pointed it out to me. This we found at that church. That church sale was fantastic. I had never been there. Well, I'm going to call it a church sale. It's a church thrift store. And, I'll have to find I have their little card. I put it in the last video, but boy, that was our first time there. I will definitely be watching on their Facebook page to see when they do their 50% off sale. And Steve and I said we will never miss it. We are going to always try to be up there for that sale. Almost everything we picked up there was fantastic and was vintage, so that was great. But we did find this little moose, just a contemporary piece. Just thought it was great for the winter, so that's going to be going in the booth. I did pick up this Aladdin thermos. I love it with the diamond pattern. I always love the diamond pattern. This has got some great coloring. It doesn't really have any damage to it, so that was a yes. This gorgeous, picked up a lot of great artwork there. This beautiful bird print, and see how it's recessed in that frame? This frame is like almost like a shadow box in a way. It can actually sit on its own on a shelf, or you can hang it up. But I just really loved that. But they had a great vintage look. And speaking of birds, Steve found these great tins. This is a bluebird tin. I'm sorry, not a bluebird, it's a blue jay. I know better than that. That's a blue jay tin. It says it right on there, doesn't it? Great for the vintage collector, because you can see from the bottom it's very, very vintage. I don't know who makes these tins, but here's a robin. I just thought they were great for the spring booth. And actually not in bad shape. Now this I've never seen before. This is a little, I don't know if it's porcelain or ceramic. I almost feel like it's porcelain, but it's a little articulating bear. All his arms move, his head actually moves. I should say she, because it's got a pink diaper on, so I'm thinking it must be a she, right? But I've never seen this before. It doesn't have any markings on it anywhere. I looked on the back of the head. There's nothing that I can see. There's nothing on the bottom or the feet. So I have no idea. And I did try to Google Lens it, but nothing really came up to give me an identifier on it. But I thought it was just too cute to pass up. So I definitely got the little articulating bear. So I do want to say where we went. The first place we went to was Church and Community Ministries. And this is their card. You can pause the video for a moment and see what their hours are and their location. And I believe they have a Facebook page, because I think they mentioned to me to look on the Facebook page to see when they're doing their 50% off sales. The other place we went was also, that was in Oxford. The other place we went was also in Oxford. It was called Secondhand Vintage. Yeah, not sure how I felt about that place. I would definitely go back and look, because I did find a couple cool things in there, but their price points were a little high, and that's okay. They're in the business to make money, and they may not be. In the video, I think I said this is a true thrift store, but I think they might actually just be a reseller. I don't know. The place was packed with all kinds of stuff, though. So if you're looking for anything, you could probably go there and find it. The other place that we went, and I didn't get their card, I wish I had, was Good Samaritan Thrift in Creedmoor. All these places, well, the first place and the last place, great people, wonderful people. And the first and the last place just so happened to be having 50% off that day. So everything I picked up was 50% off. At that Good Samaritan Thrift, we actually picked up 2 desks for $12.50. And one of them's going down to Collected Treasures today. Beautiful, beautiful piece of furniture. Okay, continuing with the birds, I found these Homeco. This was at the church thrift store. I found these Homeco prints. I really liked the frame on those, and I think I talked about that in the video when I was hunting. So these are from 1983 is what I discovered. And here's the other one. I just love that they're oval. It's hard to find oval frames or oval prints, so whenever I do, they actually don't last very long in the booth whenever I do find them. I was actually quite excited to find this. I have never come across a brass cowboy hat before. I thought that was awesome. I don't know if it was supposed to be, I don't think it's supposed to be an ashtray, because this doesn't really have a rim where it could collect the ashes. I mean, I saw this, but that's just how a typical cowboy hat would be. But what a great piece this is. You know, Western wear, Western decor, anything like that right now is pretty hot. I don't know if you remember a few videos back up in New York, we picked up a really, really beautiful litho that was called High Spirits. Really big print. And we had wanted to pick it up the previous time we were up at Pipe Creek Antiques, and I didn't have enough room in the truck. So this next time we went up, I made sure we got it. That piece didn't last but a few days in the booth, and it was gone. So Western seems to be something that people are looking for in their decor, so I am going to continue to put it in there, but I just thought this was fantastic. Here's a little rooster egg. So we've got a rooster. Roosters always do well, and we've got an egg for the upcoming Easter season. It's kind of also like a folk art piece too, because of the way that it's painted. So it's got like a little folk art look to it, which happens to be, I believe, one of the top 10 categories of items that sold last year. I think Ashford Institute did their survey and found out, you know, and got the feedback on what categories were top selling categories. And I believe folk art came up in a couple times as a category. Another one that really came up a lot, and I'm going to start looking a little bit more for it, was Art Nouveau and Art Deco. There is a difference between the two. I think Art Deco outperformed Art Nouveau, if I remember correctly. Okay, there's just a simple little, I do always look for this little tiny prints. I do look for them. They're just nice to tuck in any decor. This actually has like a plastic brown frame on it, or cranberry color, or mauve, I don't know. Maroon, how's that? That's probably the color. But it's just a floral bouquet. Just a nice simple little piece. Here's a contemporary piece. I do always pick these up whenever I can find them because people love them. Hourglass. They just have a great look sitting on a desk, and we do have a desk going down into Collected Treasures, so I imagine I'll probably be putting this on that desk when I stage the desk. And here's a little basket. Just great for the spring, just a simple little piece that anybody can use to put in their bathroom, put their little towels in it. This, you know, it's a basket. It can be used for anything. This guy, we'll see how he does. I don't know how Farmhouse is doing. I don't do a lot of Farmhouse in our booths, but when I do, I'm trying to remember how long it takes for them to move. I don't know. Maybe sometimes they move quickly. I think it just depends who comes in. If somebody comes in who's a Farmhouse lover, then it goes pretty quickly because we don't overprice it. But here's a little cow creamer, and usually they do pretty good, so I went ahead with it. This one is a heavy piece. I did talk about it. I did kind of show it in the video, so you're gonna. But this is a Sirocco mirror. It's got like a filigree border on it. It is huge. Look at the size of this mirror. It's humongous. But I definitely went ahead with it. I'm very excited to be bringing this to the booth. Mirrors usually do very well in our booth. Sometimes they sell very quickly. Most of the time they sell at a great pace, I would say. I mean, I'm not saying that they hardly ever sit around for a real long time. So I'm excited to bring this in. I think somebody's going to end up with a beautiful, beautiful Sirocco piece to use in their home. Like I said, we did pick up some artwork. You might get a little reflection from the light, but this beautiful hydrangea print, just a classic with the gold gilded type frame, and then beautifully matted. And this says Waccamaw on the back, and it says made in the USA. I don't know Waccamaw, if that's a store. Do you know? And then to go with it is this beautiful bouquet, floral bouquet. That's really pretty. Really love that. I wish I had a bigger house because I love artwork. I think that's really pretty. This piece was kind of an oddball for me. I kind of wasn't sure if I should pick it up. I don't know if you can see it very well. Really old. Look at that close-up on it. Really, really old plate, you know, dish dryer. It is all metal. Very old. And I did find a couple online, and they said it's like, could be considered an antique. It could be from like the early 1900s to 1940s. I just thought this would have a great staging look in the booth. Or if anybody wants to, you know, pick it up for their own home to stage, I'm going to maybe stage cookbooks in it. I don't have enough plates or platters to stage those in it, so I think I'm just going to maybe stage some cookbooks in it. But I thought it had a really cool look. I especially like this little extra basket on it. Steve just came up and let me know that was for the silverware. Okay, this set is awesome. Love this. Look at this. Is that not beautiful? Anchor hocking. I don't know what the design is they call it. Some people just list it as a diamond design. I'm sure it has a specific name for this pattern. Just thought this was fantastic. Picked up a green one too. I'm going to pop that picture up right here. I think I took a picture of it. I took that up to Antiques at Gresham Lake, so I'll pop the picture of that up right here. I love vintage pictures. Love vintage pictures. I mean, I just think people should use these more often to serve up all their drinks. And guess what? This one, sorry about that, this one actually came with the glasses. So I've got a beautiful set here of 4 glasses and the pitcher. I have a feeling this probably had more in the set than 4 glasses, but this is going to be fantastic for somebody. I'm not overpricing it. I think I put a price of $22 for the whole set. I usually don't pick up rolling pins. They do sit for a while because there's rolling pins in a lot of booths, but I just can't pass up a red-handled rolling pin, especially one that has such good weathering on it. You can tell that this has been used quite a bit, but the red on the handles has stayed quite intact. I love these two, so I picked them up. I couldn't pass them up. I did pick up a bunch of books. Now, some of them it was at that second store that I'm not so excited about. Prices were a little high, but I couldn't pass these books up. They're Waverly novels by Scott. This one happens to be Woodstock. So there's your spine on it, and that's, you know, the interior of the book. Boy, that's a lot of reading right there. So I thought that was pretty cool. Here's another Waverly novel, and this is The Talisman. So I paid $5 a piece for those. Probably overpaid, but at the church store, books were free. So I said, okay, these books will offset the cost of those books. This is the Prophecies of Daniel and the Revelation. I like the pages, how they look on this book, really cool. There's the spine. I hope that when people are buying these books, they're not just getting them just for decor. If they are, great. I mean, that's probably what I would end up doing too, but maybe they would open them up and take a look inside, because there's beautiful artwork inside, and maybe read a little bit. You never know. You might learn something new in these old books. This is Jan de Hartog. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, or J de H. And this is called The Captain. Purely picked this up because of the title. We do have a lot of nautical stuff that we put down in our booth at Collected Treasures, so I think it's nice to have nautical themed books to go along with it. These two pieces I don't have priced yet, but I did pick them up at that church thrift store. I did just notice on this one, and I'm a little disappointed about it, it does have a little damage underneath the wing there, and I guess I didn't see it because it's under the wing. I went back and forth on these. There were two of them there. I left one behind because I could see obvious damage on it, but I missed that, and I'm kind of upset because I did pay up a little bit for these, and I'm going to have to price them up in order to make any money, or to at least get my money back. But I really love them. I think they're beautiful. It's a wall pocket. Wall pockets generally do well, and then, you know, throw in the bird, and it's a home run. So I'm hoping that that's a forgivable, you know, I'll mark it on the ticket, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But this piece, I love this piece. Love, love, love it. And believe it or not, I got it at that second thrift store. Look at this. Oh, I never find these. These are very valuable, highly sought after, and this is in mint condition. I haven't found any damage yet. I mean, when I look it over some more, we'll see. But it is in great condition. There's the bottom. I think it says Japan on it. Yeah. Beautiful piece. I love this. As you can see behind me, I have a lot more that we're going to go over. Maybe not today because I haven't priced it yet. Maybe get to that. It's probably going to get priced and sent up to Gresham, so maybe I should go over a few more of these items. But I have several that went to Gresham already, like this fantastic elephant planter stand, or plant stand, or garden table. This is huge and heavy and just spectacular. I got it at that second thrift store, the one I wasn't so excited about. I love this piece, and I did pay up for it a little bit, but I do think it's a fantastic piece. Another great piece is this brass planter. It was the very first thing I picked up at the church thrift store. It was a great price, and we could never go wrong with brass, and especially a big planter like this that someone can use. This Lancashire, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, clock lamp I picked up at the last thrift store, and I really went back and forth on it. I think it's from the 1950s. The reason I went back and forth on it is because the price was a little bit up. It wasn't bad. It was fair. But the clock didn't work. And I really wanted that clock to work, but I'm not going to mess with the clock. So, but the light works fine. It's beautiful. Here's what it looks like when it's lit up. It's gorgeous. So I did go ahead and put it in the booth, and we'll see what happens. This little porcelain lamp with the blue flowers, I thought this was so pretty, and all the little blue flowers were intact. That's currently up at Antiques at Gresham Lake. This was really cool, and look at how this looks with the 3 candles in it, this brass candle holder. Again, it's brass, it's got a great look, and I just think it's staged really. Here's how I staged it, but here, you know, here it is close up with 3 candles. Beautiful piece. And then this dragonware plate. Don't know if there's something special about this or not. I did a Google Lens on it. A lot of different stuff is popping up. Some showing it very valuable, some showing it kind of middle of the road. I don't know. I priced it accordingly. I think it's a cool piece. And we'll just see. We'll see what happens. Somebody may pick it up and say, they had no idea what they had in the booth here. They may find a great treasure. I don't know. Staffordshire, it's not something I pick up very often, but I really liked this platter. I thought it was beautiful. It was 50% off when I purchased it, so it was at a price point where Staffordshire sometimes moves quickly, sometimes it sits forever. So we'll see what happens. I do have it in the booth up at Antiques at Gresham Lake. I did have somebody ask about it, and I don't know if they're going to go up and get it or not. This crock, we picked this up. Crocs, we always, you know, if you can get a crock at a good price, I always pick it up. I mean, it's just a no-brainer. Crocs are, again, something that, you know, it may move quickly. It just depends who comes in, or it may take a while for it to move. I just always like to have them in the booth available in case somebody's looking for them. These are FTD mugs. So, right, the floral company, FTD Floral. And apparently, I think they were actually used at Christmas time, but I thought they had a great green color to them. And I thought they would look great for the spring. So I went ahead and got those, and they're up at Antiques at Gresham Lake. Oh, I can't remember the name, this cat artwork. This is a great piece, and it's a low number. I'll look it up before I edit the video. I'll get the name of the artwork up there, the name of the artist up there, and what the count was. It is a signed piece. I love this. He's kind of got a little grumpy look, though, doesn't he? And let's see, the mirror. What mirror is that? I don't know. Oh, a little handheld mirror. This is just a little handheld mirror. I was pretty excited about finding this. I just thought it was beautiful. I think at that point in the hunting video, I just was excited because there was so much great stuff. So I did put that up at Antiques at Gresham Lake. We're going to run through a few more items, and I'm going to price for Antiques at Gresham Lake tomorrow and probably take up on Sunday. This is a chopper. Now, the top was missing on this, the knob. And I think the spring might be sprung on it, but I think the look is fantastic. It's got the numbering and the, numbering on it, and then it's got all the lettering, and I liked the vegetables on the top, and then all the wording around the edge. So I think there's some value there. I did pay $3 for this, so I will have to price this probably around $8. And it's not complete, so I don't know. We'll see how that does. That's an iffy. That was probably a purchase that is borderline. Should I have purchased it? We'll see what happens. Steve likes these. These are just some wooden plaques, but they're vintage and they're vegetables. They've got a great look. They're not worn or anything, in good condition. So definitely grab those. I love this guy. You know how much I love owls. Did pay up a little bit for him, but he's solid stone. Gorgeous piece. That's what the bottom looks like. I think it's stone. Yeah, it feels like stone. But I think he's a really cool looking piece. That's his top. Yeah, that's stone. And I really liked this. I thought this was pretty. Again, this type of thing might sit for a while. Let's see what the bottom says. Am I going to be able to read it? Probably not. Can you read it? Probably not. I'd have to clean that up so we can read it, but I just like the look of it. It's a pedestal piece. I just think it has a really pretty look. Even the pedestal itself has some great look, design to it. So I thought, yeah, why not? You know, I always need little risers in the booth, and I didn't pay a lot for it. So I thought it was definitely worth it. These are cool. These are salad serving set. I'm going to take the rubber band off here. I love the look of them. They got like these chunky wooden handles and then a real slender long neck, and then the salad, you know, the spoon and the fork. But I thought they had a great look. So I grabbed those. I did get the fairy lamp. It cost me $10. And if you watched that video, you know I was going back and forth on it, but I did get it. You know, people like these fairy lamps. I don't know how the clear ones do. I know the colored ones do fantastic. We'll see if I've made a mistake there. I did feel like the great pricing I was getting on some of the other items would kind of absorb the extra pricing that I paid on this. I just think some pieces, it's a no-brainer. You need to pick them up. People are always looking for them, so I did get the fairy lamp. Brass is a no-brainer in the booth. It always sells, so I picked up every one of the brass candlesticks. I felt like a little greedy, so I did leave some of the brass behind. If you saw that video, I left some behind. I really kind of wish when I watched the video again that I had picked it all up. But here was a little brass creamer that I picked up. It's got 2 different prices on it. I wonder what I actually paid for that. And this is pretty awesome. This is a handmade wooden box. This is made by Marvin and Dorothy Richter out of International Falls, Minnesota. That's the interior of it. It's got a pretty design inside. It was in really good condition. Needs a little bit of conditioning as far as I use like a food safe oil on it to just give it a good conditioning. Picked up that, and there were 3, this is really dirty. There were 3 of these there, and they did want $6 a piece for them. So with 50% off, they were $3 a piece. It says Golden Anniversary on it, and it's this lemon glass jar with a lid. Now, I don't know who the maker is. It does have some numbers on the side. So we'll see. I've got to research this to see what the value is of on this. And, you know, if I made a mistake leaving the other 2 behind. And the last thing I'm going to show you is just this really pretty, I think this might be, the design of that looks like fall scrap, doesn't it? That looks like a fall scrap design to me. But it's a coffee grinder. It does actually look like maybe somebody used it. Just thought it had a really pretty look. The drawer works. So I said, yeah, why not get the coffee grinder? Steve actually liked this piece. Okay, that is it for this haul video. We have got to get going. We've got to load that truck up and get down to Collected Treasures. We got furniture to move around. We're moving the whole booth around today. Why not? Why not? We're just crazy. Anyway, I hope everybody's having a great week. And boy, it's been cold down here this week. We actually got a little snow this week. But I hope you're having a good week. If you had snow where you're at, I hope it's clearing up so you can get out there and do some treasure hunting. Get out there, go find yourself a treasure. Support your local people. Find something that just brings back great memories for you, puts a big smile on your face. And until I see you next time, take very good care of yourself.